Hi everyone, Facebook Live. We are here in Sunningdale and we're in Titlux Road, and we are day one of the 10 for 10 leadership program. So we're out the front of the house right here now. What I'm going to do actually very quickly before we start, because I want to share some of the insights that came out of yesterday. So the street behind it, gorgeous house, right? These are manor houses all the way down here, and I think one of them I heard sold for about 22 million. So we have some beautiful, incredible homes, and this is the one that we are spending the next 2 days in, and it's here. It's just lovely, as you can see. Yeah. It's just beautiful. And what they're doing is they are knocking this one down, believe it or not. It's going to go, I think it was built in the 1930s, and they're going to be building this, which is behind me now. A 40,000 square foot home is going on this property here. Amazing, right? Amazing. A 40,000 square foot property is going to be built here.
It's incredible.
It is. So what I want to do is just share some insights that came out of last night, that came out of yesterday. We had a bit of a meet and greet up till about 7:30, and then we kicked off at 7:30. And a lot of it was really, I think Justin asked us the question, what impact do you want to make on the world? What impact do you want to make on people? And it was quite a deep question, actually. Yeah. And I think at first I struggled a little bit with that question. I think the enormity of the question. Yeah. However, when I really dug deep, and he called us out, it was a bit like a hot seat, and he just asked us different questions to, I think, dig a bit deeper, because I think it's really important to understand and know the value that you want to provide in the world, the impact that you want to make on people. And I won't speak on behalf of Chris, but I know for myself, my own journey has really created for me a lot of challenges in the past when it comes to feeling trapped because of finances, feeling trapped in a relationship, and that feeling of not being empowered because of that feeling of being trapped. And I don't want others to go through that feeling, or I want to be able to be an example to show people that you don't have to be trapped, right? You can be a very independent person. Independent to the point of having choices, having options, whatever those options are. Well, that's up to the individual, but it's about empowerment. That was the impact. I was feeling very vulnerable last night, and I shared my vulnerability with the group, and I'm glad I did, because I think that's just another barrier, another layer of the onion that we're breaking down. Yeah. So vulnerability is good in this business. Vulnerability is good when it comes to sharing your content and sharing your message. And it's the ability to tap into the heart space of your message and feel comfortable enough to deliver that to anyone. Yeah. And that takes time and it takes practice. Practice to get a video out and to press that button and to say, you know what, I'm going to share that insight that I've just had. It's just cropped up for me. It's just bubbled to the surface. And I really do need to show my vulnerability, because people connect with the vulnerability because it's the same story that they've got going on in their head, or it's the same story that's happening with them or has happened with them. Yeah. So vulnerability is really key. Now, I think that there has to be a distinction here too. I mean, there is a difference, and I think I want to raise this question between shooting an ad to get people to click and to put their email address in, and sharing sharing video. Because I think that when it comes to content video, it feels a lot easier to be able to share that vulnerability and to tap into that vulnerability. Yeah. It feels like a video ad is much more forced and a lot more orchestrated, and because we're scripted and we're in our head, and I would like clarity around, so how vulnerable do we really get in our video ads? And I think maybe the answer is going to be as vulnerable as you can get.
Yeah, I think what you raised there, Trish, is really important, because if you can just tap into your vulnerability. You don't have to show how vulnerable you are, but when you tap into it, you're speaking from your heart. And if you can get that message out by speaking from your heart, then the world's your oyster, because you are going to impact people with your message, whether that is a video ad or whether that's content, because whichever way it is, it's a way of reaching people.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
And it is. It's not really showing all that or sharing your whole story on a video advertisement or sharing your whole story. It's just showing that vulnerable side. Hi, Karina. Karina from New South Wales, Australia. Mike from Dubai.
Mark's there.
Mark,
Louisa's there.
Louisa. That's very good. You really caught a lot on the way through.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, hi, Mark. How are you? Keeping it authentic. It's right, and it's sometimes really challenging to work out what authentic means.
Yeah.
I know in the first year of our journey, getting authentic was really big for us, and we just had no idea what that meant, really. And you start to get it. You start to get real about what you're delivering to people.
And comfortable with being real.
Yes.
Comfortable with being real, because that's where the power is, when you actually are comfortable.
And not being like other people.
Yeah.
Okay, because a big thing here, I think, in this community is the potential of comparing yourself to others. And that can put up blocks and barriers rather than take the layers down. And I know that Mike added a comment there earlier about the layers of the onion, and Jay shared that in hi Renee.
Hey, Renee.
Jay shared that on Momentum Day, and it really impacted me about these layers of the onion. And it takes progress, it takes time, it takes practice, it takes personal and professional development for those layers to slowly come away, unfold.
Takes courage to do it, because that is part of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
That is part of being real and authentic, and it's part of tapping into your heart and learning and impacting other people through your own experience.
Another very important thing that we talked about this morning too was providing a very safe, comfortable environment for your members coming through. So providing, because in effect what you're doing is you're coaching. As they're coming through, you're coaching your members, and they need to be able to feel safe enough to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And once you've provided that environment, once they feel safe and they know that they can be vulnerable, then breakthroughs happen.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. You can't have a breakthrough without exposing yourself.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
It's not possible. So that takes courage. So when you are ready to step out of your comfort zone, that's when these things happen.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's our share. So we're entering day one. We're going to be vulnerable today. I know that because we've got to go over our data today. And so I'll just be relieved when that's done. Yeah. And then I can move on from that point.
Then get into the other.
Yes.
But what we're going to experience today, we've got no clue. But we just want to get our stuff out of the way.
Get our stuff done, and then we're good to go, right? So we're just going to head on in. There's some snow on the ground, frost. It's pretty cold here. I think we must be at -1 again this morning.
Yeah, I haven't checked.
But we're excited too, nervous, which is understandable. I think anyone would be nervous. And we've got a day with some incredible people. So we will check in with you again, most probably throughout the day, and talk to you very soon. Bye, everyone.